Do you feel like you're always tired, even though you're sleeping well? Have you ever entered a room and left heavier than you entered? This is no coincidence, it's about energy. And if you don't learn to protect yours, you will continue to absorb everything that keeps you from peace, joy, and your purpose. In this video, you will discover how to identify the invisible thieves of your spiritual strength, and more importantly, how to shield yourself from everything that drains your vibration. If you are looking for more lightness, mental clarity, and protection against toxic energies, stay until the end. This could change your life. The universe does not speak with words. It vibrates. Everything around you, from the sound of rain to the silence of a thought, carries a subtle vibration. This is the essence of practical esotericism. Understanding that everything is energy in movement. The chair you sit on, the touch of a hand, the memory of a love all emit invisible signals, shaping your reality. When you enter a place and feel a chill for no reason, this is spiritual perception, capturing something that the eyes cannot see. The ancestral wisdom of people, such as the Egyptians, the Vedas, and the shamans already taught. Whoever controls his energy dominates his destiny. They knew that thoughts create forms and emotions magnetize realities. This is not cheap poetry, it is spiritual science. The body, as a spiritual channel, absorbs what is in the invisible field. Therefore, being surrounded by noise, gossip, and chaotic environments is not harmless. It contaminates your vibration. Everything you consume becomes part of you: words, food, music, and even conversations. The spiritual energy you absorb shapes your attitudes, mood, and even your health. A simple habit like listening to high-frequency music can change your mood in minutes. Likewise, surrounding yourself with negative people is like drinking dirty water every day without realizing it. The connection with the invisible is real, even if it is not visible to the common eye. You know that friend who leaves you exhausted after a conversation. It's not drama, it's emotional quantum physics. Each interaction creates energetic bonds that can uplift or drain. And when you open up too much without filtering, you become a sponge. Popular mysticism calls this the fat. Eyes or backlash or evil eye, but what is behind it is frequency change. And if you don't protect your field, others will invade it. You may not see it, but you are always swimming in an invisible sea of intentions, thoughts, and thought forms. Some of these waves strengthen you, others weaken you. The secret is to raise your vibration with clear intentions and daily practices. One of them, gratitude. When you are grateful, energy aligns with abundance. It's not magic, it's conscious energetic presence in action. The body first feels what the soul has already sensed. Frequent headache, unexplained nausea, persistent tiredness, signs that something is wrong energetically. This is not to scare you, but to warn you. Your body is trying to speak. Internal energy, when out of balance, screams for adjustment. Either you listen or she stops you. Taking care of your energy is more important than brushing your teeth. Without clean energy, your decisions are confused, your relationships are strained, and your soul is lost. Practical esotericism teaches that even simple tidying up in the room can be a cleaning ritual. Changing sheets, lighting incense, organizing physical space, all of this impacts your energy. The house also has an aura, and it feeds on yours. So if everything is energy, who are you allowing to influence yours? What places do you frequent? What words do you hear every day? These questions are not banal, they are portals, because when you understand that your life vibrates, you begin to notice the subtle signs that push you up or pull you down. Every thought you have is like a wave released into the cosmic ocean. Some waves are gentle and carry you lightly. Others are storms that pull you to the bottom. This is the essence of vibrational frequencies. Everything vibrates at a specific rhythm, and that rhythm shapes the reality you experience. When you understand this, you begin to see that maintaining good spiritual energy is as vital as breathing. People who live in gratitude, laughter, and purpose vibrate high. They attract opportunities, true connections, and magical synchronicities. Those who live trapped in fear, anger, and self-pity carry a grey cloud around such low vibration. Spiritual perception captures this even effortlessly. You feel when someone is light, and you also feel when someone is heavy. Practical esotericism reminds us that frequency is the language of the universe. Everything you want already exists, but it is vibrating at a specific frequency. Love, prosperity, peace are all in high vibrational stations. And like a radio, you only hear what is tuned to. The question is, what season are you vibrating in right now? Have you ever noticed how a simple compliment can change your day, or how criticism can knock you down right away? This is vibration in action. Your emotions are like energetic magnets, attracting what is on the same wavelength. If you start the day complaining, you will attract more reasons to complain. But if it starts with gratitude, it opens invisible portals to abundance. It's not just about positive thinking, it's about energetic coherence. You can say, "I'm fine," but if inside you are vibrating with sadness, the universe responds to your true signal. True energetic presence requires emotional sincerity. So, meditate, breathe, feel what you are really sending out into the world. Because that is your silent prayer. The frequency at which you vibrate also influences your physical body. Emotions of love and compassion strengthen the immune system. Emotions of anger, fear, or shame lower your internal energy. Science calls it psychoneuroimmunology. Mysticism calls it vibrational alignment. In the end, they both say the same thing. Emotion is chemistry, vibration, and destiny. Eat well, yes, but also feed your soul with good thoughts. Read books like The Power of Now, The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success, or The Secret. Avoid gossip, violent films, and songs with painful lyrics. This is not frivolity, it is ancestral wisdom. Connection with the invisible begins with simple choices, repeated every day. And when your frequency starts to rise, something magical happens. People who once seemed close begin to move away. Situations begin to dissolve. This isn't bad luck, and it's life telling you you're leveling up. And when that happens, the next step is to deal with what's pulling you down. Low energy is silently treacherous but deadly. It infiltrates the small habits, the words you accept, the emotions you repress. Little by little, the body begins to warn. Insomnia, unexplained pain, constant discouragement. Vibration doesn't lie, it's the body crying out for spiritual realignment. And if you ignore it, life stops you by force. In ancestral wisdom, illnesses were seen as disharmonies of the soul. The body was treated as a reflection of the spirit. Today, modern medicine is beginning to confirm unresolved emotions somatize. Therefore, practical esotericism proposes vibrational healing before physical healing. Chakra alignment, conscious breathing, energy fasting. This is not an alternative. It is energy prevention. The mind also suffers. When the frequency is low, the focus disappears. You start forgetting commitments, procrastinating, sabotaging yourself. Self-deprecating thoughts become routine. I'm not capable. Nothing works. This isn't for me. Spiritual energy becomes fog over your clarity. And with each repeated thought, reality gets a little worse. Spiritually, disconnection becomes an abyss. You stop listening to your intuition. You lose your sense of purpose. Spiritual perception dulls. You pray, and it seems like no one listens. Meditate, and feel empty. It's as if I've lost the signal with the divine. But the truth is, it never went away. You just changed its frequency. Low vibrations create a self-sabotaging cycle. The more bad you feel, the more negative things you attract. The more you attract, the worse you feel. It is an energetic whirlwind. Therefore, interrupting this pattern requires conscious action. Small daily rituals, such as baths with coarse salt and rosemary, help clear dense energy. Spirituality is practical and a daily decision. Relationships are also affected. When your energy is low, you tend to attract people who reflect this same pattern. Conflicts increase, the need grows, and the feeling of being alone, even with others, intensifies. The body, as a spiritual channel, begins to carry the weight of others, even without wanting to. Have you ever seen people who, despite being well-dressed, look out of touch? It is the energetic presence that is missing. A sparkle in the eye, a firm posture, a silent magnetism, all come from internal energy. And when it's blocked, you become invisible. Opportunities pass you by without noticing you, but that could change, because when you recognize these symptoms, you are already one step ahead. It's your vibrational field asking for help. And when you hear that request, you begin to notice what is really draining your strength. You can sleep 8 hours a night and still wake up exhausted. This is not physical tiredness, it is energy draining. Practical esotericism teaches that there are energy thieves, subtle but devastating. People who make you feel small, busy environments, empty promises. All of these factors corrode your frequency without you realizing it. Toxic relationships are the main source of drain. When you have to explain yourself all the time, walk on eggshells, or feel guilty about being you, something is wrong. Spiritual energy dissolves in these dynamics, and when you try to leave, the fear of abandonment appears. But the truth is, better alone than in bad company, literally. Work that doesn't make sense is also draining. You feel like you are carrying out purposeless tasks, exchanging your life for bills. The soul screams in silence. The energetic presence disappears. You become a spiritualized robot. And even if the salary pays the bills, the void continues. To grow, the soul asks for more meaning, purpose, passion. Limiting beliefs also drain energy. I can't. I don't deserve it. Each of these phrases is a vibrational block. Ancestral wisdom knew this, which is why mantras, affirmations, and prayers were used. Words are energetic codes. Every time you diminish yourself, you are reprogramming your field for scarcity. You may notice the drain when you feel heavy for no reason, or when, after interacting with someone, you need to take a deep breath. This is your body as a spiritual channel trying to expel density. At these times, baths with herbs such as rue, guinea, and basil are essential. It's not superstition, it's medicine for the soul. Lack of enthusiasm is another symptom. Life loses its shine, the days drag on. What used to give you pleasure now seems like an obligation. This is a sign that your energy is being used to maintain masks or support other people's weights. The connection with the invisible begins to fail, as if something had been disconnected internally. But the good news is that this is reversible. Recognizing the drain is half the cure. The other half? Learn to close the channels through which your strength escapes, and for that, you need to closely observe what feeds your thoughts. Negative thinking is a silent trap. At first, it just seems like a rant, a light criticism, an ironic comment, but it repeats itself once, twice, 3 times, and that's it. You're stuck in a cycle that sinks your frequency. The mind begins to believe what it hears frequently, and without realizing it, you yourself become the saboteur of your spiritual energy. Science has already proven the brain reinforces the most used neural pathways. In other words, the more you think something negative, the easier it becomes to think again. This creates a dense vibrational network that blocks opportunities. Ancient wisdom said that what you speak, you create. And in practical esotericism, thought is a creative verb. It is magic in movement. These thoughts have smell, color, weight. Spiritual perception feels. Sensitive people can pick up on what you think just by being close. Have you ever approached someone and, without exchanging a word, felt uneasy? It is the person's field that is contaminated. The body, as a spiritual channel, does not know how to lie. It feels everything. Many of these patterns are inherited. Phrases such as, money doesn't grow on trees, men are no good, I'm unlucky, are passed down as inheritance. But unlike a good, these beliefs block its growth, and vibrating scarcity only attracts more scarcity. Popular mysticism already warned, words have power, and repeating misery attracts misery. Do you want to break this cycle? Start with surveillance. When a negative thought arises, ask yourself, is this absolute truth or a distorted emotional perception? Rewrite it in your mind. This doesn't work becomes, what can I learn if I try? This changes your internal energy instantly. The vibration starts to move upward. Use daily affirmations as a reprogramming tool. My energy is clean, strong, and protected. I am a channel of light and abundance. Write on the mirror. Stick it in the fridge. Repeat when you wake up. That's what practical esotericism is, making the invisible part of your everyday life. And over time, your energetic presence completely transforms. It is common that in these cycles, you also begin to isolate yourself. Low energy wants solitude, silence, stagnation. But be careful. Prolonged isolation becomes fertile ground for self-sabotage. Surround yourself with vibrant people, frequent spaces that uplift your soul, such as spiritual centers, healing circles, temples, or nature itself. It reconnects you. And when you start to think different, feel different, and act different, the world responds. Situations begin to change. New people appear. Everything seems lighter. This is no coincidence. It's a reflection of your clean field. But what happens when not even thinking differently seems to work? The energetic disconnection is subtle but profound. You even smile, talk, work, but inside you feel like something is missing. This lack is the lack of alignment between your essence and your practical life. It's the soul screaming in a present body. And the worst part, this state becomes routine, and you get used to it. But the truth is that it eats away at your vibration day after day. The disconnected person lives in automatic mode. Wake up, work, get distracted, sleep, repeat. Nothing seems satisfactory. Everything requires effort. Internal energy does not flow. It is pushed. The body as a spiritual channel collapses, and the soul, without space to express itself, begins to silently fall ill. This is more common than you might think. In ancient times, when someone fell ill for no apparent reason, the wise men asked, when was the last time you danced, that you sang, that you were enchanted by something? Ancestral wisdom knew that enchantment is food for the soul, and disconnection comes when you stop marveling at life. This absence of beauty kills frequency. Connection with the invisible requires a presence, and presence requires silence, not just any silence, but the one that comes after you turn off mental noise. Meditation is essential, but so is walking in silence, taking a conscious bath, listening to the wind. Energetic presence is built in these small moments of devotion to life. Disconnection often disguises itself as productivity. You are always busy, always running, always doing something. But inside, a hole grows. This rush without pause is a type of escape. Run away from what? Of yourself, from pain, from the so-called interior. Practical esotericism teaches, stop, only in the void can the divine manifest itself. It is in this disconnection that existential crises arise. Questions like, why am I here? What is my purpose? Does this make sense? These questions are not a sign of weakness. They are an invitation to transformation. They are the awakening of spiritual perception. And whoever listens to them begins to realign themselves with their true mission. To reverse this state, resume your rituals. Make a list of things that make you feel alive. It could be dancing, painting, cooking, praying, walking on the beach, taking care of plants. This activates your spiritual energy. And when your soul feels pleasure again, your vibration rises, life gains color again. And then, with your feet back on earth, you start wanting more rooting, more strength, more clarity. And that's where one of the most forgotten pillars of modern spirituality comes in. Being in the world of the moon may be charming, but it is not sustainable. To manifest, create, live with purpose, you need to be rooted. Grounding is the link between spirit and matter. Without it, you become a kite, flying in the energetic wind. Ancestral wisdom taught, feet on the ground, head in the sky. It is the balance between high vibration and real presence. Walking barefoot on the earth is more than a hippie practice. It's energy science. The exchange of electrons with the soil neutralizes internal and external inflammation. Internal energy balances. It's like restarting the system. Do this for 15 minutes a day in contact with grass, sand, or wet earth. This is practical. Esotericism in its purest state. Another effective method is root visualization. Sit in silence, breathe deeply, and imagine roots coming out of your feet and penetrating the earth. Feel grounded, safe, connected. This practice strengthens your energy presence. It is especially useful before meetings, important meetings, or when you are anxious. Contact with nature is also grounding. Walk on trails, touch trees, swim in rivers. This is not a lost mystic thing. It is a return to the original state of the human being. The connection with the invisible involves being present in the visible, and nature is the most direct bridge between the two worlds. Even cooking can be grounding. Prepare food with presence, smell the seasonings, touch the ingredients. This activates the root chakra. The same goes for gardening, clay sculpting, or any tactile activity. The body as a spiritual channel needs to feel the world to vibrate well. The spirit needs anchoring. If you feel constantly dizzy, forgetful, anxious, or feel like you're floating, you're probably disconnected from the earth. This unbalances your auric field. It is common in very sensitive or spiritual people. Therefore, grounding is as important as praying. One foot in the sky, the other on the ground. Take a coarse salt bath, and then lie face down with a hematite or onyx stone between your feet. This draws energy into the body. It may seem simple, but it is powerful. Spiritual energy needs structure. Without structure, everything becomes a daydream, and when you start to feel grounded again, it's time to clean out the accumulated debris. Because even though it is rooted, there is still something to purify. Everything you experience, feel, and think leaves residue in your energy field. It's like dust that accumulates without you noticing. On the outside, you may be smiling, but on the inside, there is overload. And that's where energy cleansing rituals come in. These are practices that cleanse the invisible, restore your frequency, and renew your spiritual energy. Without cleansing, the spiritual field weakens. One of the most powerful and simple methods is smoking with sacred herbs. White sage, rosemary, rue, and lavender purify not only environments, but also the body and aura. Pass the smoke around your body, starting from your feet to your head, with gentle movements. Do this silently, with intention. The connection with the invisible responds to its full presence. Energy baths are also essential. A bath with coarse salt and rosemary eliminates dense loads, while a bath with chamomile and honey attracts sweetness. Prepare it with respect, as if it were an offering to your body. Touch the water as if you were touching liquid light. In popular mysticism, this is an ancient tradition. In practical esotericism, it is vibrational self-care. Use crystals as allies. White quartz is a universal purifier. Amethyst transmutes negative energies into spiritual love. Place them under the light of a full moon to recharge, and then keep them close by, in your bag, pocket, or under your pillow. They are silent, anchors of your energetic presence. Sound also purifies. Tibetan bells, crystal bowls, mantras, and sacred chants break up dense vibrational patterns. A simple repetition of the Om mantra 7 times can change your internal state. Play music at frequencies like 432 Hz to harmonize the environment. Clean vibration starts at the ear. Light a candle. Write on paper what you want to clear. Fears, guilt, pain. Burn with awareness, surrendering to the flame what no longer serves you. This is more than symbolism. It is energetic transmutation. The flame, as a channel between worlds, dissolves the old and makes room for the new. Internal energy responds to the intention you place in the gesture. Create a personal altar. It doesn't need to be something elaborate. It could be a corner of the house with a candle, a crystal, a sacred image, a plant. This space becomes a vibrational force field. Whenever you are out of balance, go there. Breathe, silence, reconnect. The body as a spiritual channel needs places where the soul can land, and as you cleanse, purify, and release, something new begins to be born. The ability to protect what you have rebuilt. And this protection comes from the most neglected place. In modern life, limitless energy flows like water between your fingers. People without limits are open fields, invaded by other people's demands, imposed blame, and endless demands. Setting limits isn't about being cold. It's about being sacred. It's recognizing that your frequency is too precious to be spent on things that don't nourish you. Limit is spiritual protection in the form of attitude. Saying no is a magical act. Every no you give to what weakens you is a yes you give to your soul. Ancient wisdom knew this. In several traditions, there were rites of passage that taught young people to protect their energy field. Today, we learn this with pain, but there is still time to learn consciously. Emotional limit is refusing to bear the blame of others. It's listening to an outburst without taking responsibility for other people's pain. You can be empathetic without being a sponge. The body as a spiritual channel was not made to carry the world. If you always feel tired after talking to certain people, you may already know where your field is lacking. Physical limits are respecting your time, your space, your rhythm. It's saying, I can't do it now. I need to rest. This isn't good for me. And yes, at first it will hurt. People will be upset. But whoever truly loves you will understand. Spiritual energy grows stronger when you honor your temple. Your body is your home. Treat it like an altar. At work, the limit is knowing how far you will go, working overtime, accepting absurd deadlines, living putting out fires. This is draining. Energetic presence disappears when you become hostage to goals that are not yours. Practical esotericism teaches that productivity without purpose is modern servitude, and your soul didn't come for that. Setting limits also means clearing your calendar of commitments that don't elevate you. If a meeting becomes an obligation, it no longer vibrates. If a group makes you anxious, it no longer connects. Stay where your heart breathes relief. Go to places that give you back your shine. Your vibration is shaped by where you step. Use amulets, symbols, or words of protection. A Greek eye bracelet, a black tourmaline pendant, a personal prayer before leaving the house. This is not superstition, it is an energetic anchor. It helps the field stay intact. The connection with the invisible responds to your intention and your respect for yourself. And when the limits are firm, the energy is balanced, the focus returns, and the soul flourishes. And then, amidst the restored inner silence, space arises. For a deep state of clarity, meditation is not an escape. It is an encounter. It's not about emptying the mind, but inhabiting yourself with presence. The frequency changes when you mute the noises. Internal energy reorganizes itself. And in that moment, you see yourself beyond the masks, beyond the fear, beyond the ego. The energetic presence lights up. It's like coming home. Start with 5 minutes a day. Sit silently. Close your eyes. Breathe slowly. Observe your thoughts without getting caught up. Every passing thought is like a cloud in the sky. This is practical esotericism, making spirituality something simple, constant and real. You don't need hours. You really need them. Mindfulness goes beyond the pillow. It's about eating carefully. Walk and observe what you feel. It's being whole when washing dishes, when listening to someone, when taking a shower. It's the art of living slowly in a world that speeds everything up. Ancient wisdom called this the state of presence. The modern calls it deep emotional healing. During meditation, repeat mantras or affirmations. I'm at peace with now. My energy field is safe. I am one with the flow of life. These phrases reorganize your vibration. It's internal alchemy in practice. And if you do this consistently, your connection with the invisible will become palpable. Science already proves meditation reduces anxiety, strengthens the immune system, improves focus and sleep. But the most important thing is that it gives you back control of your vibration. You stop reacting and start choosing, and a soul that chooses creates. Popular mysticism has always used silence as a ladder to the divine. Use crystals during meditation, such as amethyst or rose quartz. Light a white candle. Choose a song in 432 hertz and allow yourself to dive. This raises your frequency and anchors you in the now. The body, as a spiritual channel, responds with lightness, the soul with gratitude. Don't worry about meditating correctly. Just be. Energetic perfection comes from constancy, not technique. 5 minutes well done are worth more than half an hour without presence. And over time, practice becomes a portal. You realize that within the silence, all the answers are hidden. And when you cultivate this state of clarity every day, your body begins to ask for more lightness on all levels. Even in what you eat, what you put on your plate is just as important as what you put in your mind. Food is frequency. Each fruit, grain, or herb carries a specific vibration which merges with your internal energy. Eating is a sacred ritual of reconnection. And practical esotericism reminds us the body is the temple of the soul. What you offer to him, you offer to his essence. Living foods such as fresh fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds are light carriers. They cleanse, energize, and realign. Processed foods, full of additives, carry stagnant energy, disconnected from the earth. Ancestral wisdom respected the origin of food. Planting, harvesting, and preparing was a spiritual act, and still can be. Start simple. Drink water with intention. When you wake up, hold the glass, close your eyes, and think, may this water cleanse my body and my spirit. Do the same when preparing a meal. Spiritual awareness intensifies when you bless what you consume. Food becomes a vibrational code. Your body responds with vitality. Gratitude during a meal isn't just etiquette, it's alchemy. Giving thanks before eating raises the vibration of the food. Transforming the moment of eating into a moment of presence is a practice of mindfulness. The energetic presence is strengthened when there is awareness in each gesture. This is holistic nutrition, body, mind, and soul in sync. And it's not just about what you eat, but how you live. Laugh, dance, sing, love. These are ways to nourish the soul. A good conversation, a sincere laugh, a tight hug. All of this raises the vibration. The connection with the invisible also feeds on joy. And joy is often the most powerful prayer. Make choices that sustain your energy, not sabotage it. Choose seasonal, local, organic foods whenever possible. Reduce your consumption of sugar and processed foods. Listen to your body. It speaks. A heavy stomach is a reflection of an overburdened soul. The body as a spiritual channel needs lightness to vibrate high. Moving the body is also nutrition. Walk, stretch, dance. It doesn't have to be a gym, just be enjoyable. When the body moves with joy, the soul sings. Mindful exercises such as yoga, tai chi, or even circle dancing activate spiritual energy and unblock the flow of life. Movement is a silent prayer, and the more you nourish yourself with quality, the more your field shines. Vibration rises, thoughts clear, emotions organize. And in this state of vibrational abundance, you begin to see clearly that you have the power to change everything, including the reality around you. You are not a victim of your energy. You are its creator. Every choice you make, every thought you cultivate, every word you speak shapes your vibrational field. This is spiritual empowerment. Practical esotericism shows that there is no separation between the invisible and the visible. Everything is intertwined. And your power begins when you recognize this. Your frequency does not depend on what the world does to you, but on what you do with what the world gives you. And that is liberating. Because even on difficult days, you can protect your spiritual energy with simple practices. Conscious breathing, short meditation, a bath with herbs, a well-placed no. Life changes with small actions, done with intention. Ancestral wisdom reminds us, he who watches over his energy governs his destiny. Taking care of your vibration is not a luxury. It is a necessity. In a hyper-connected and emotionally exhausted world, those who learn to protect their energy flourish where others wither. It's subtle resistance. It is silent vibrational revolution. And it starts within you. You already have everything you need to transform your reality. Don't wait to be ready. Start with what you have. An incense lit with love. A mantra whispered in the silence. A crystal in your pocket. A glass of water with blessing. The body as a spiritual channel responds to affection, care, attention. Your energy field flourishes with simple daily practices. The connection with the invisible is everywhere, in the synchronicities, in the signs, in the unexplained chills. When you align, the universe responds. What once seemed like coincidence becomes direction. What was an obstacle becomes an initiation. Your life gains purpose, and purpose is the fuel of the soul. Protect your energy like someone guarding a treasure. It is the bridge between what you are and what you can be. It is the compass that guides your steps in the invisible, and only you can strengthen it. The energetic presence is born from the commitment to your truth, to your light, to your mission in this world. So watch your thoughts. Choose who you hang out with. Honor your feelings. Be true to your intuition. Every decision you make either raises your vibration or weakens it. This is the invisible choice every day, and those who do it wisely flourish from the inside out. Because in the end, protecting your energy is about remembering every day that you are sacred, and everything that is sacred deserves care.